Hey, my babies, how y'all doing today? I'm just sitting here with the Most High, just in thought, just going over some things, some lessons and teachings and all that great thing, all that greatness. And it was sitting there going over the blood. The blood. To be covered in the blood. For those who have an ear to hear, let them hear this. To be covered in the blood. To be covered in blood. It just, that old saying just never sat right with my spirit. To be covered in blood, because I will have to question, well, whose blood are we being covered in? One, and are we speaking of the living, or are we speaking in the deceased? Because if we have it in the living spirit, then you have it in the full form. You don't need the blood. You have it right there. But if we are talking about the deceased, now why would I want to be covered in that blood? For those who have an ear to hear, let them hear. To be covered in blood. I mean, can you visualize that? I mean, because you have to, in spirit, have to resonate with that. You have to be able to see that. To be covered in one's blood. And I know you say, oh, this is our brother, but are we speaking in the living form? Because again, in the living form, you don't need the blood if you got the body in the spirit. In the spirit. The body in the spirit. For those who have an ear to hear, let them hear. Why would I need the blood when I got the water? Again, these are just my thoughts. But again, if we are talking in the not living form, to imagine that type blood to be covering you. Water covers most of us. It is water, not blood. This is just, and again, this is just me in thoughts. The water gives life. To be covered in the blood. Are we speaking of the living? We don't need it in the living. We have it in the living spirit. And we don't want dead blood, deceased blood, non-living blood pouring. Yeah, this is just granny babies and thoughts, and I'm not trying to offend. Again, these are just my thoughts.